Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Damon Silva with the Senior and Disability Services Training Unit, and today we're going to talk about environmental modifications, or EMODs for short. The information in today's video comes directly from Regulation 7 AAC 130.300, as well as the Conditions of Participation for Environmental Modification Services. Both references can be found on the SDS Regulations and Related Materials website. Environmental modifications are changes made to a recipient's living environment that make it more accessible and comfortable for Alaskans. These modifications can range from small changes, like installing grab bars in the bathroom, to larger changes like widening doorways or adding ramps. A foundation of independence at home, rather than the need to move to an institution or long-term care facility, is one of the main purposes of this service. Environmental modifications are an incredibly important resource for all Alaskans, as they can help to reduce barriers and make everyday activities easier and safer. For Alaskans with disabilities, environmental modifications can make a huge difference in their quality of life. Installing grab bars in the bathroom, for example, can help people with limited mobility to move around more easily and safely. Widening doorways and adding ramps can make it easier for Alaskans with mobility impairments to enter and exit buildings and allowing the possibility to participate in community and daily activities. EMODs are available to all Alaskans who qualify under the Home and Community-Based Waiver, from Anchorage to Juneau to Fairbanks and all communities in between. Recipients who reside in a home that they own or rent with the property owner's consent, and in situations of joint custody with the stipulation that the recipient resides in both residences with either the parent or guardians at least part-time. Keep in mind, the department will not pay for services that increases the square footage of an existing residence, is part of a larger renovation to an existing residence, is included in the construction of a new residence, any modification to a residential facility that is owned or leased by a home and community-based waiver services provider, a general utility adaptation, modification, or improvement to the existing residence, unless necessary to reduce the risk of serious injury or illness to the recipient, and any other practical modification is not available. This includes routine maintenance of or improvements to flooring, bathroom furnishings, roofing, appliances, and central air conditioning, heating system, or sewer system replacement. Changes or additions to cabinets or shelves that are not necessary to make the cabinet or shelf accessible or functional for a recipient as part of an environmental modification. An adaptation, modification, or improvement to the exterior of the dwelling or to an outbuilding, yard, driveway, or fence, except for an adaptation, modification, or improvement to a door, exterior stairs, or a porch, if necessary for ingress or egress for the recipient, and finally, duplicate accessibility modifications to the same residence. Alright, so let's summarize what we've covered so far. Environmental modifications are physical adaptations to an Alaskan's residence that can increase or maintain their ability to live at home with independence. So rather than moving to a long-term care facility or moving to another residence that's more accessible, they are able to stay at home. Environmental modifications can be found under the Home and Community-Based Waiver. Environmental modifications can be completed by a building contractor that is certified and enrolled as a service provider, as well as overseen by a home and community-based waiver service provider. The cost of EMOD projects will be paid out once the project is completed and up to code, right? That's the important part of the service. Once the project is completed, the total amount is paid out to the service provider. You can find the full regulation and the conditions of participation on the SDS Regulations and Related Materials website. Again, the regulation for environmental modifications is 7 AAC 130.300. I will have the linked website down below, as well as the conditions of participation and regulations also linked, so it's easier for you to locate. And that is all the information we have for today. Thank you very much for taking part in today's video. If you have any further questions, feel free to email sdstraining@alaska.gov or browse through our website, SDS Regulations and Related Materials, that I will have linked down below.